Hey y'all. So today we're going to be talking about neurological physical exam, focusing just on orientation questions. How you ask them, what pitfalls people fall into, those types of things. So, when you're looking to see if someone is oriented, ANO times 4, what that means, or oriented times 4, is they know self, time, location, and situation. The first thing I will tell you is that if you go through all of these questions and then you get down to self and they do not know who they are, then probably there's a fluke somewhere in the previous questions. It is very difficult to forget who you are. It's a lot easier to forget where you are or why you're there. So that is held on very tightly, and if someone is to the point where they don't know who they are, I'm a lot more concerned. Especially if they knew that previously and they've had an acute drop in their organ-oriented status. So, with that, we'll start with, when you're asking these questions, your wording matters quite a bit. A lot more than other types of exams. Because, well, let's try this for example. Say our patient. So, do you know where you are?
Yep.
Do you know your name?
Mm-hmm.
And how you got here?
Oh yeah.
And you know where this is?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, then I guess you're really oriented. By the way, where are you?
I'm on the moon.
Ah. You want to make sure that you're asking open-ended questions, not close-ended questions, because the patient will just say yes, no, no, yes. They might be just saying whatever comes to mind. Some patients will try to say whatever they think the doctor is looking for.
Or they will confabulate.
They might be confabulating. So you have to get them to actually give you a real answer. Instead of saying, do you know who you are? Just say, remind me what your name was again?
I'm Sydney.
And that's forcing her to give me the actual answer. So then, for time, I will usually ask, typically broad and then get more narrow, getting more challenging as I go along. For example, I might start with, what's a major event that's happened in the last 4 years? AKA, do you know who the current United States president is?
Notably, this is not necessarily great for all populations because some people just don't pay attention to the news and are oriented but don't know who the president is. So take that with a grain of salt based on the person's background, knowledge and information about politics or whatever else you are questioning them about.
There are also some patients who can take that as a politically charged question. More than once, I have gotten, oh, well, I know who the president is. It's this guy, and I don't like that president. And then it'll go on and on and on about how they don't like that president. So sometimes I will lead the question with, this is not a political question, I'm just trying to make sure that you know recent events. Who is the current president of the United States? I also say, of the United States, I don't just say the president, because then I could be getting the president of just about any country. And if this is someone who is new to the United States, then they might not be naturally thinking of that. So, that. And then I go down to more broad. I'll ask what the month is. And the furthest I'll ever go is asking what the day of the week is. If you ask the average person off the street, what day is it today? They're gonna pull out their phone and check.
I do that.
I don't walk around every day memorizing if it's the 27th or the 28th of March.
So you can do instead of a month, that sometimes can be easier, especially if it's like the first day of the month or like the last day of the month and it was like it just turned. You can ask what season it is, like is it spring, fall, or winter? Because that's another one people should pretty much be attuned to, because like the weather should to tell them what season it is if they're oriented to time. And the year is also usually pretty good, unless again it's like right in January or December around a year change. That can be more confusing.
And then location and situation. These are things that get confused fairly often in a patient with altered mental status. So location, I ask them just, where are you? I have gotten responses of while sitting in the hospital bed, I'm in my house, I'm out on vacation, I've gotten all kinds of answers to that question. Hotel, I'm in a hotel. Some of them will be looking around and try to pick up clues. Like some patients might actually be able to get that one based off of saying, well, I saw a nurse earlier and you introduced yourself as doctor, so I'm in a hospital? Mm-hmm. In fact, because of those context clues that you can use, if they are alert and oriented to nothing except for that one, especially if they're not oriented to self, I might bring that answer into question. And then to situation, you just ask them why they're here. I'm here for a checkup, I'm here because I fell off my tractor and hit my head, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. And then you want us to run through those questions, like how they would look in real life one time real quick.
Yeah. So, first off, I'm going to say that in a patient who is casually talking to you about the weather and saying that they're here for their headaches or whatever they have, I'm not going to ask them all of these questions, because just by virtue of them talking to me in a very casual sense, I've got a pretty good idea right there. I'm not going to ask every single patient who came in for migraines for the fifth follow-up visit. So do you still know who the president is?
Unless they're there for cognitive workup or something like Alzheimer's or another neurodegenerative disease or something like that, then you might go into it more frequently.
Yeah, neurodegenerative disease, of course. Mm-hmm. Or anything else that makes me worry that they might be losing their orientation over time. Alright, so, hi, my name is Eric. I'm one of the student doctors. I'll be taking care of you today. Mm-hmm. What was your name again?
I'm Sydney.
Sydney, right. And what brought you in today?
I'm here for, what should I be here for this time? Seizures.
Right, here because of your seizures, you need to go into epilepsy monitoring unit. Mm-hmm. Quick questions, funny questions, just wanted to check on these really quick. Can you remind me who the current United States president is?
That'd be Biden.
Right, and what's the month?
It's March.
What's the day of the week?
Tuesday.
Alrighty. And also, you said here, where is here again?
We're at the clinic, the neurology clinic at SLU.
Alright, so just by introducing myself and asking for her name, she already gave me that she was oriented to self. I asked her very specific questions for time. For location, I just asked her where she is right then, and for situation, she said she was able to say why she is in this location.
Yes.
Alright, move on to the next part. Thank y'all.